So welcome back, my dear students. Welcome back, everyone. This is a new lecture in marketing, and we will talk now about the marketing research. Our topic is the marketing research. What do we mean by marketing research? Usually, we use the marketing research to collect ideas about the product, have a feedback about the product and how it's working, so that we can make any adjustments on the product itself in a recent time. So the marketing research is the process of collecting, analyzing, and reporting marketing information that can be used to improve a company's bottom line. Again, the process of collecting, analyzing, and reporting marketing information that can be used to improve a company's bottom line. What about the market research? The process of researching a specific market to determine its size and trends. The process of researching a specific market to determine its size and trend. Firstly, we have to define the problem, design the research, design the data, and specify the sample, and collect the data, analyze the data, then write the research report. Those are the steps of the marketing research. Again, they are define the problem, design the research, design the data, and specify the sample, collect the data, analyze this data, then write the research report. For each step of this, like the first three steps, identify the decision and the initial hypothesis. The hypothesis means it's a kind of exploitation, a kind of exploration, sorry, kind of exploration to see what the reason of the problem. Determine the information needs. Here we will see what do we want from this research. Develop the prototype. The prototype is a kind of product or a kind of explore or guessing how we'll solve the problem. Then designing, formulate the questions, articulate the market research mix, verify secondary sources for needed data. The last one is to execute, to move into action. I will go and ask the people now. So I will have a sample because I'm not going to ask all the people about what we want. Then we will implement the research. We will take the sampling, we'll check out the ways, random sampling, random systematic sampling, or whatever the way we will do the sampling. Then after that, we will analyze the data and make our research report. The maker research can help you your task with developing product ideas and design. So I make the marketing research to check out the product. Is it satisfying the people's needs or no? So that I can do a product which is, or they have some suggestions about this product and how it's performing. So in all the cases, we are trying always to get information or info about the type of product, and if this product does it lack to one of the people's needs, the consumer's needs, and what does this product need for improvement, for whatever. Okay, determine if there is demand for your product, so you know whether or not to produce it. You will know also from the marketing research if you have your own product is highly demanded or no. Identify market segments. So you will put segments, divide the markets into parts, and each part with a separated 4PS for your product. Making pricing decisions. Also, the marketing research will help you to know what is the price which you'll put for your product. Evaluating and the packaging types. You will ask the people, how about the package? Is it okay, suitable, proper or not? And so on. Evaluating in-store promotions. Measuring the satisfaction of your customers. Measuring the satisfaction of your channel partners. Evaluate the effectiveness of your websites. Testing the effectiveness of the ads, the advertisers, and their placement. Making marketing channel decisions. So those are the the things, why do we do marketing research? Why we do the marketing research? For all these reasons. Marketing intelligence, informations gathered on a regular, ongoing basis to enable firms, decision makers to stay in touch with what's happening in the marketplace. This is the market intelligence. So it's information, it's also regarding info, how to gather or to get or collect information on regular ongoing basis to enable a firm's decision makers to stay in touch with what's happening in the marketplace. The marketing information system also is one of the parts which will help us in the marketing research. Marketing information system, a system either paper or electronic, manual or electronic as example, used to manage information as a firm's marketing professionals and managers need to make good decision systems for recording internally generated data and reports, a system for collecting market intelligence on an ongoing basis, marketing analytics software to help managers with the decision making. So these are reasons why we use the marketing information system, a system of recording marketing research information. That was some parts of the marketing research, but mainly I want you to know that the marketing research is only for the purpose of identifying the markets, checking out, navigating what the market needs, what the product needs to be developed. If the product is okay like this, or we need to just work on it, it's missing some points which the consumer need in the product to satisfy and maximize his utility and maximize his needs and satisfy his wants. Here we go again. These are, again, I'm repeating it. This is, we said it before and I repeat it back. Marketing research, we start with defining the problem, then designing the research, then designing the data, collecting the form, specify the sample, collect the data, and analyze the data, then write our report or research regarding our findings. What did we find about the product and so on? Let me give an example now for marketing research. Suppose that I am now going to open a factory here in Toronto for soda, like the Pepsi or 7-Up or whatever. Then I don't have an idea what I will do. And I won't know how far this project will succeed here or no. This business will do good here with me or no. So I will start to check out the people who are there. I will define the problem I don't know whether I will work very well. The product, the Coca-Cola or the Pepsi or whatever, which are produced here, or the candies, will have a good reputation and have a highly demand or no. I will make a research to ask the people about this product, and I will start to ask them, like, put some questions about the product. No problem also if I took the product into the ground and the fact to the people and just give it to them to test it. And they tell me, they give me back information about how they feel regarding the product, what they want to improve the taste or the quality, the taste or the quality of this product, to be delicious, to be attractive, for them to buy it more. If the bottles of the Coca-Cola or that product size is enough, or we need to enlarge it to make it bigger. Design the data. So I will put some questions, data, and so on, specify the sample. The sample is part of the whole society. By other meaning, a part of the population, we call it part of the population that represent the population. So if I am, as example, will make the factory here in Scarborough, then I will have to ask the people of Scarborough who will buy from me. So I will ask them, I will take samples, of course. I can take all the people. Sample means some of the whole population, some of them, but not all of them. I will take some of them. As example, if it is a randomized sample, then I would stand and ask, someone is passing, by, and another one is passing by, and another one is passing by. We call it randomized sample. Systematic sample means what? Means that I will say, I will take this one, then I will pass 10 persons, then I will take the next, then I will pass 10 persons, then I will take the next, and so on. This we call it systematic sample. We have also convenient sample. Convenient sample, it's a kind of sample like you try to hesitate it for yourself. So you would say, okay, I will take this street. I will ask the people in this street. I will collect the data from the people in this street. Why? Because this street is very close to me. And since this street, the people here are like the people here are like the people here, then why I will take the headache? I will just take this one. I will take this street only. And I will ask the people here. Then I will collect the data from the people. Then after that, and I will analyze the data. Like as example, 55% of the population said that they would like the drink, or they would like the Pepsi or whatever, and so on. Then I will write the research report to say, okay, I will make the decision to make the factory here or not to make it here. We'll come to research design. The outline that specifies the research data to be gathered, from whom, how, and when data will be analyzed once it has been obtained. We have primary data, the primary data and the secondary data. What is the difference between them? Primary data, when you don't have any other resources to get the information which you need from the market. So you get your last resort is the primary data. The primary data, that's for the first time you collect this data, the primary data, you collect it for the first time. Data collected using hands-on tools such as interviews. Of course, because we don't have books, we don't have magazines, we don't have any secondary resources to get the data from. So we will depend for the primary data on the interviews, on the surveys, and the questionnaires with the questions or the questionnaires, and specific research projects like you will ask the people. We call it field research. Field research, primary or field. Field means that you go down and meet the people on the roads and ask them and take their answers. The secondary data is that stored data had been there before. This is not the first time, but that we use it. Data already collected by your firm or another organization for purpose other than marketing, research, project at hand. So you have already, as example, if I say secondary data in the soda factory, which I will open, I will check out if there's another factories they made this industry like Pepsi or 7 or 7-Up or whatever. They did it in the same area, which I'm doing it here now. And I will check them. How was the situation for them? Did they succeed in their business or no? Their sales are going increasing or decreasing. So I will know from the secondary data that if there was factories in the same area by which I want to open a factory. But if there was no any previous factories there, then I don't have data. So I will go to the primary data. So we go to the primary data if we didn't find secondary data. Secondary, it's old ones. You have it already. Examples for the secondary data, like the books, the magazines, all these are examples for the secondary data. We have also, what about the questions which you will ask to the people? What about the questions which you will ask the people? The questions, we have double-barreled questions. A survey question that is potentially confusing because it's asked two questions in the same time. Don't do this. You should ask only one question at a time. So don't put like as example, if I say you, do you like to drink soda? And if you like to drink soda, what do you like in it? No. You like to drink soda, this will be a question. And what kind of soda do you like to drink? This will be another question. but don't put both the questions together. This we call it, if you put two or more questions in one question, we call it double-barreled question. Open-end question, when you tell, as example, you leave for the respondents, you leave for them a chance to write their answers. We call it open-ended questions. Questions that ask respondents to elaborate, explain their answers, or given ideas or suggestions or whatever. So you leave for them dots and you tell them, like as example, if we say, do you have any suggestions? And I leave for them points. If you are not satisfied with our products, could you please tell us why? Then you leave for him a space for him to write the reason. We call it open-ended question. Closed-ended questions, those are questions like the multiple choice questions or whatever. Those kind of questions like closed-ended question, you don't leave a chance for them to explain to the respondent, to explain what he wants, either emotionally or ideas or whatever, because you tell him this, and he has to choose one of them, like the multiple choice questions. And also yes and no questions. It's a very good example for the closed questions because you give him only two answers, yes or no, the door is opened or not opened. But you didn't tell him to describe the door or to describe what is there in the door or what you don't like in this thing. The last thing, when we talk about the research, we have to talk about the sample. And I was saying just now, what do we mean by the sample? A sample, it's a small amount of products given to consumers to try it for free. Sample. And sample also means the units by which you will do your own experiment. Sample means the people which you will ask in the questionnaire. All these we call it sample. Sample because you will not be able to choose all the people in your research. You cannot take all the people in your research. So you take part of them. This part which you will take, we call it sample. The population is the whole people or the whole society or the whole area of your study. So if I say my population is Scarborough people and the sample is 200 of these people only. So the population is the whole community or the society by which you take, and you have to choose the sample from the population. You have to choose the sample out of the population so that the characteristics of the sample should reflect the characteristics of the whole population. The characteristics of the sample should reflect the characteristics of the whole population. The entire target market being studied. Once we have to know also that there's something we call it sampling error. What is the sampling error? It's the gap or the deviation between the sample and the population. So if the sampling error is great or big, that means there is a very big gap between the characteristics of the sample and the characteristics of the whole population. By other meaning, means that the sample do not represent the population 100%. Any type of marketing research mistakes that results because a sample was utilized. Yes, so this we call it the sampling problem. Also, we have to know what do we mean by the sampling frame. Sampling frame, the list from which research sample is drawn. Sampling frame won't perfectly match the population. It won't match the population. So it must be a sampling frame is the list which from a research sample is drawn. So we put a frame and we will take from this frame. Usually to give equal chance for all the units of the population, to give equal chance for them, we use the probability sample. Because the probability distribution will give an equal chances for all the units of the society to reflect in the sample. It will give the every single unit of the sample will have the same chance to present the whole population. A research sample in which each would be participant has a known and equivalence of being selected. So equal chance. Sorry about that. Equal chance. This is equal chance to be selected. So this is the meaning of probability sample. Like I told you, they all have equal chance to be selected. So if I'm doing, like you see sometimes when you do like the lottery, they put all the envelopes, including the numbers, in one box, and they take their hands, they pull from the box 5 or 6 names. This is used in probability. This is a probability because it's all are having the same chance. All are having the same. We didn't isolate some of the samples units away from another sample. No, all of them are here, so they have all equal chances. We have also non-probability samples. The non-probability samples is a research sample that is not drawn in a systematic way. So we call it non-probability. We have the convenience sample, which is types of non-probability sample that's drawn because it's already available and convenience for the researcher to do that. You can find it easier. Again, I will talk about the marketing research steps here. I will say step 1, marketing research process is to define the problem, like we said before. Step 2, to design the research. We have to design the research, see how it will be, and so on. The third step is design data collected from which need to be standardized. How we will collect the data, right? Okay. Step 4 is drawing a sample. And like we saw here before, we have many types of samples, like the equal probability samples or non-equal probability samples. Step 5 is to actually collect the data, whether it's collected by a person or face-to-face or by the phone or whatever. And we had 2 ways to get the data like we had before: primary data and secondary data. Please don't forget it. Step 6 is to analyze the data. So as example, we'll say 75% of the sample said yes. That means the majority will agree that to do this product or to offer this product in this area. Step 7 is writing the research reports and presenting the findings for the use of the decision makers. Usually, don't forget that the research is done for making a decision. The final purpose of the research is to make a good decision, because it will depend on a real data. So here today we talk about research, and I will give open question now. We know now what's the meaning of questions. I will do research or marketing research. Marketing research is very important to make a good decision. A good decision. Discuss. So you will talk about everything I talk here right now. You will talk about the, what do you mean by the marketing research? Let's arrange your answer, arrange it. You will say, what do you mean by the marketing research? Who will conduct the marketing research? What are the steps of marketing research? How could we collect the data by primary data and secondary data? Then, what are the things which we have before the steps also? What is the sample and how we would use the sample, what kind of sample we will use. Are we going to use the probability sample, or are we going to use the non-probability sample, or are we going to use the convenience sample? So in all the cases, we will decide before we start our own research. Once we did the research, we gather the data, then analyze the data, then write the research report based on the data which we collected. Remember, the types of questions are open question and closed question. Open question, you leave for the respondent a chance or an area or a space for him to write his own opinions or suggestions, but the closed questions, like the multiple choice questions or yes and no questions, these type of questions, the respondent is not putting his opinion in it. I came to an end of this lecture today, and I will leave here like around 5 minutes for you guys to work on this question back. Please watch back the video and go step by step in the parts of the research. Remember, again, we talk about the definition of marketing research. We talk about the steps of the process of the marketing research. We talk about the sampling and how we will collect the sampling. And we talk about the two types of data, which are the primary data and the secondary data. We talk also about the sampling. We talk about the probability sampling and the non-probability sampling and the convenience sampling. Shall wait here for another 5 minutes to take your answer, my dears. Then we will move forward to the next video. Thank you so much.